I think that New Year's resolutions are the worst thing in the entire world. I think they put people under pressure, that it's just an arbitrary day, and we've just come off enjoying ourselves, and then all of a sudden capitalism is going, buy all this stuff to make yourself feel better.
Well, that's Blue Monday. But anyway, because we don't have the money to buy it. But New Year's resolutions are probably the worst thing you can use to try and implement change.
Why?
And that's because what's the purpose of a New Year's resolution? We think, oh, yeah, New Year, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to do all of this. And of course, the less I've been doing last year, the more I'm going to want to change this year. So if I say I'm going to exercise more, I have this image in my head, I'm going to do the Dublin City Marathon next year.
Good on you.
Yeah, but it's the worst thing you could actually do, because if you haven't been practicing, all right, and if you haven't been practicing, you're not going to be doing the Dublin City Marathon. And if you haven't been practicing changing. Now, one of the biggest mistakes we make is we think, what is motivation? We think, oh, you have to feel like doing it, and I have a drive, and I have a goal, and I'm going to go out, and I'm going to do all these things. And what we don't realise is action precedes motivation. It's not the other way around.
Yeah, I like that. But everyone I talked to over Christmas kind of said, New Year, I'm going to get back training, I'm going to start eating healthy, I'm going to go. And like, is there nothing wrong with having that bit of motivation? Even if it doesn't last until February, March, April, at least it kicks off the new year trying to feel better about yourself.
And everybody goes down and joins the gym, and by 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and we're now in January the 3rd, so how many people will come in and say, well, I had all these images, and then I woke up and it was cold. So remember, the more we want to change is inversely proportional to the lack of change we've actually been making. So you have to understand what change actually looks like. And change involves enduring some discomfort, and that's what we don't like. We try to avoid discomfort as much as possible. And one of the biggest mistakes people make, especially with their mental health, they say is, if I'm feeling good, I'm doing something right, and if I'm feeling bad, I'm obviously doing something wrong. And that's absolutely the total opposite of the truth. It's like if I do go to, if I go to the gym, I'm going to feel an awful lot of discomfort at the start. Yeah. And motivation is easy when you want to do it. Real motivation is doing things when you don't want to do it. So action precedes motivation.
I just think that's because this arbitrary day that's in a calendar.
It's a kick. To try and change something, you need a kick to kind of the impetus to do it.
No.
So the new year is kind of that time. It's like, right. And some people don't stick at it, but a lot of people do.
Do they? Do you know what? I've never known somebody who took a New Year's resolution that actually stuck with it. But
for the year.
You're very different to a lot of people. You love setting goals and targets, and you stick to things.
Well, but there's also a lot of people like me too.
I think there's more of me than there is of you, but unfortunately.
And of course, you're an ex-rugby player.
Unfortunately, yeah.
The skill in learning how to actually... Like, you can have a New Year's resolution, but you can have that on any day of the week.
Exactly. So, like, I remember, when I decided to do whatever Couch to 5K, it was April. Yeah. It was just like, there wasn't this pressure. Yeah. And I am seeing, and I was talking about it on social media, there's so much paraphernalia now. Yeah. If you buy this journal for €120, you're going to achieve all your goals. Yeah. Make sure you get to the middle aisle and buy all of these weight things. You're going to be the fittest you've ever been. Yeah. There is a correlation between January and going, well, we're going to get them to spend more money after Christmas for new them.
Yes,
right?
And the biggest, and gyms and everything like that have their greatest increase in membership in the month of January, which falls off around February or March. And that's where they make most of their money, is in January. But if you look at how change actually occurs, and we set up a goal and we say, right, I'm going to do my 0 to 5K. And if I fail at going out and doing that, say, one day, or I haven't done it for a couple of days, I think, do you know what? Throw it all aside. Now, you're an ex-rugby player. In order to learn how to score a try, you first had to learn how to fail at scoring a try 30 times.
Absolutely, yeah.
Exactly. But that's what we don't learn. We don't learn that in order to succeed, you've first got to learn how to fail. Yeah. So if people want a New Year's resolution, they can do it on any day of the week. You start practicing making little changes in your day. Little changes that just
So would that not be a little habit, a little change start in the new year?
Well, yeah, but why? But a new year has this, this pressure and this enormity.
There's no pressure. People are maybe putting on a little bit of pressure and say, but what's wrong with a little bit of pressure?
Well, see...
Like that resolution, doing something, trying to get Couch to 5K, that's pressure.
A little bit of pressure. What's the difference between stress and anxiety?
What is it?
What?
I don't know.
Well, the old joke was that if you're on a medical card, you get anxious, and if you're in the VHI, you get stressed. They're both exactly the same. But we say, oh, a little bit of pressure and a little bit of stress. So I will ask people that says, hands up who gets stressed, and everybody puts their hands up. And then I will ask, how many people have a problem with anxiety? Everybody sits there. And I say, well, what's the difference? There is actually no difference. So putting yourself under pressure to do something usually has the opposite result.
Okay.
Because the more you see, confirmation bias is, the more you see yourself as having to change, the more you're going to see yourself as failing. So it inversely goes proportional. So practice little changes.
So do little changes. So you're not saying like a big New Year's resolution.
Exactly.
Just small habits.
And you can do that on any day of the week, and you're better off doing it any day of the week. Because remember, we change situations whenever possible.
Yeah.
And we adapt to them whenever necessary. And we're not good at adapting to situations.
And if you fail, just pick yourself back up. It's all good. You can keep on going.
Well, you have to understand is that in order to fail, you pick up the rugby ball, you run with it, somebody tackles you. So what? You know you have to do it 30 times. But with New Year's resolutions is the first time you've actually got tackled and you've lost the ball, well, that's it. I have to wait till next
But imagine you set a New Year's resolution in January and you fail and then you keep going. Well, there you go. There you go. You've learned how to do it.
Wow, he's just solved all the world's problems.
About Blue Monday.